What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the Serie A audio.
This is the first time Marco's talking after the game, by the way, guys.
With IFTV. The Champions League obviously ended. We let you guys know that we were going to save our Serie A talk until some of the Champions League matches happen, so we could do everything. Obviously, there's a bitter taste in my mouth right now. Juventus, Manchester United, ended in a loss to Juventus. I would never have expected a loss. I thought maybe a tie, that Juventus would slip up a little bit. Disaster. We got to start there because can't go around it. Disaster of a match from Juventus. And I think that we saw the signs that we saw. Same thing with Genoa. I don't know. I hate the attitude, like especially in the first half. Manchester United didn't even cross half field. They might have taken one shot the entire match. But Juventus, Cuadrado, he hits the ball from 2 feet out of the net. He hits it over the net. It's like, I don't know what the word is, but it's like that we already have the game won and we don't have to keep scoring goals. We sit on a 1-0 lead instead of killing a game that should have been 3-4, 5-0.
They could have finished this whole game in the first half.
Khedira not the first time that Juventus have done this to the season. Yeah, Khedira was very poor. So disappointed in Juve, and then Ronaldo scored a beautiful goal. Thought the game was over. Mata on the free kick, and then Szczesny again on that goal was just horrible. Yeah, the one time you need Szczesny to show up in the season, and this guy's freaking standing inside the net already. So bad game for Juve. What do you guys think? Because I'm already annoyed.
I heard the comments from Allegri, and he said that they give out, and they've been doing it for the last few weeks, too many free kicks from around the area, from the side or from the middle. And looking at that free kick that Matuidi gave him, and that was not necessary at all. Pogba has got the back to the goal, is going away from the goal. Why foul him? Just stay behind him and let him pass the ball back. So that was totally unnecessary. On that free kick, I saw that they had two people, one with the right that went over the ball, and then Mata that kicked with his left foot. When the guy went over the ball with his right foot, Szczesny moved one step, and then when Mata scored, he was a little bit out of position because he came close to get the ball. If he would have moved, I think if they didn't have two players on that ball, he would have gotten the ball. If you knew that it was going to be a free kick from the left side from Mata, he was going to get it. So,
but that's not a good goalkeeper.
Smart. Well, he doesn't know whether if the,
so
the
you
guy
don't make the you don't.
The
you
guy
don't
went over with the right foot. He doesn't know whether he's got to be ready for the right foot, and then for the left foot, he wasn't ready. So that was on the first free kick. On the second free kick, is very, very tough for the goalkeeper because he's got 20 players in front of him. The ball is high. He thinks somebody's going to touch it, and then all of a sudden nobody touches, and the ball bounces right 1 yard in front of him. I mean, I think at that point just punch it out. Don't try to grab it. I think he tried to grab it. It slipped out of his hand. Soft goal.
You can't assume that as a goalkeeper, you're the leader. You're the guy. A goalkeeper, anytime a goalkeeper goes up and he's touched, it's a foul. So you need to play to that advantage that you go and you get the ball. Whether you hit your defender, whether you hit the attacker.
No, but
to me,
the ball bounced in front of him.
No, but you got to get it before it bounces.
Yeah, but where that position, the cross, because the cross that came in, Fellaini, if you see, was right under that ball. So if in the case Manchester United, a player or whoever gets a deflection and goes on goal, Szczesny has to wait. He cannot jump.
I think he looked way too weak.
If he jumps and misses, it's going to be even worse.
I think he could have done better.
With Peter Gaetano because, on a ball like that, I was thinking Chiellini was actually trying to hug
I think it was Bonucci.
Okay?
No, yeah. Bonucci was on Pogba.
Then what happened? The ball, after those two guys, they didn't touch the ball because Chiellini wasn't even looking where the ball was. Chiellini was just making sure that Fellaini didn't touch the ball with his head. So when that option failed and the ball bounced in front of the goalkeeper, this guy here, three players in front of him, like less than a foot. He had Bonucci, he had Alexandro, and he had what's his name? And Szczesny, I mean the other guy from Manchester United.
Pogba was that.
Right.
No, it's
so
the
bottom line is it is poor goalkeeping on the first on the free kick. Definitely, that's poor goalkeeping. But on this particular case, I mean, he couldn't react. It was just a reaction that it was kind of late for everything. And you know what? To this time, I don't think I would give him all the
blame.
the blame to the on the second goal. I don't think the goalkeeper is to blame 100%. The two defenders they had to blame too because
either way, whatever. I don't care who's to blame. To be honest, I'm more upset that Juventus you can't conclude a match that should have. That's there
absolutely.
for qualification.
They deserve to win.
But either way, you could deserve to win, but you don't get to win. You have to earn your victory, and I feel like Juventus has this little bit of sense to them where they think, oh yeah, we're Juventus, we got the best players, we're gonna win. And I see that arrogance. That was the word I was looking for. I feel like I've seen signs this season, and I think Juventus needs to clean that up. Qualification was on the line tonight. If you win, which was there, they don't qualify. They're still in first place, but there's some serious. This was a big wake-up call. I thought Genoa should have been the wake-up call. I think that this needs to be the wake-up call that in Champions League, even 5 minutes to the end, even if the other team is not playing better than you, no matter who they are, everybody says Manchester United is not great this year, that they could make you pay if you act stupid and you don't conclude
This reminds me of actually the first leg against with Manchester United too. I think it was.
I said the same thing was going to happen. You remember the first half I said this.
It was like the same ordeal. We were saying, oh my, Juve's going to concede. They're not playing good. They didn't close off the match. They didn't finish their chances.
Because they had how many chances?
And now this time they do the same exact thing, but this time they pay for it, which is horrible. Looks like Allegri didn't really work on finishing till the end of the match or try to finish a chances, even though they were unlucky.
Wasn't the Juventus this team that never loses concentration and he waits until the very end and wins the game all the time at the last couple minutes and things like that?
It's not it's not all the time.
But I think Juventus definitely they played better than Manchester United. They dominated for the most
100%,
part.
yeah.
Manchester United, believe it or not, even if they don't have the greatest of teams like they used to, they have some good players. So Juventus didn't really succeed much in the game, in the run of the game.
And
it was
Lukaku
two set pieces that changed the match.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
So you have players of a certain quality.
Let a game get to that.
But the thing is, it seems to be like just that blackout within these 5 minutes because the goals happen in quick succession. And usually we don't see that from Juventus. Usually we see the Juventus finish off a game. This year, but there's been a lot of close games or they left the game open.
Yeah.
Quadrado had a couple of chances to finish this game.
Khedira hit the post, pretty much open.
The chances were there. I think Juventus was playing. Unlucky result, but in the end, this is a game where you have to learn from your mistakes, come back, win the next game, and make sure you get on top of the group.
But to make Gaetano summoned the game very nicely because you do not foul a person like Bogovan that he has his back against the goalkeeper. I mean the guy is not even aiming at the net. He's not trying to take a shot. He's trying to recoup the ball that he was already lost in the middle of the box over there, and he's trying to play the ball to one of his friends or one of his teammates and make something else happen. You don't foul right there on the top of box a player like that and have a chances. For the opposite team to take a free kick from a very dangerous position.
Anyway,
that's the key of the game.
I remember years ago when I used to watch Sir Ferguson with Man United. They used to win a lot of games in the last minute of the games. And the last two games in the Premier League last week, in the Premier, they won in the last minute. And,
Fergie time, they used to say.
And now in this game, they scored in the last few minutes, they scored 2 goals. What the other comment that Allegri made was, if you had to lose a game, this was the game to lose. We're still in first place. We could have qualified, but we still have a very good chance to qualify and to qualify in first place. So you can win. You can win all the games.
It's true.
So if you had to lose a game, I guess this was
It's just weird, just because it looked like Juve were just pulling off those games again, and just when you didn't expect it, they concede, and before they even get back to their feet, they concede again.
But every team goes through that.
No, 100%.
It's what you do the next game.
Exactly, to make up for it.
Right. So Sunday there's a big game against AC Milan. If you come back and you win against AC Milan,
make a
it shows your character.
Then this has shown that you
gotta make a bet.
Developed.
The only thing that sucks is because Juventus' goal was beautiful.
Yeah,
Ronaldo's goal was world class, and
Unbelievable.
that's the reason why Juventus paid that amount of money for a player.
And a good
that
pass by
magnitude.
Bonucci too.
Incredible pass.
That was always something that you were missing.
You have to
last
understand
shirt,
the difficulty of scoring that
Yeah.
goal. The ball's coming over his
I know,
shoulder
that's-
with his right foot.
You had to connect
To
it
position in the
perfectly.
right-
I know.
It wasn't. No, it's a world class
I
goal.
thought you said De Gea was at fault for that goal.
No, listen to this. This guy's supposed to be a World Cup. World class goalkeeper.
Come on, you can't blame the goalkeeper.
Wait, let's hear this.
Anto.
Please. Cristiano Ronaldo made a spectacular connection with the ball. There is nothing more perfect than that.
Yeah.
But De Gea was right on the trajectory.
I don't believe
he
that.
didn't even move, this guy.
Because you can't
Yeah,
expect
you can.
him.
You can.
You can't expect
Donnarumma
a player
would have
to hit a
blocked that
volley
ball,
from
not
That
even
was a
save it.
bullet.
Blocked
That
it.
was a bullet.
Guys,
All right, now wait. But
Don't
one
put it
thing,
that way.
one thing that I
hope
really
you bring it
pissed
up.
me off, it was Mourinho just leaving the game and making the gesture like this. I said, hey guys, I'm not hearing this noise anymore. So because apparently he was being harassed all the game. That's what he said on the interview.
No, we heard it.
I didn't
showed
hear
you the
anything.
video.
But listen, it's been expected. You're a coach of an opposite team. You've been coaching in Italy. You've been a jackass a little bit, you know.
little bit.
You know, and then what do you expect people to say? We love you. You play in the Juventus stadium. Of course, somebody's gonna start to harass you from the sideline. But you, if you're a professional, you're supposed to portray yourself like a nice guy. Then you live in the game and you're trying to, to get a lot of more people upset, including the Juventus player. Bonucci was the first one to run after him. I said, hey, what the hell are you doing? I mean, I'll tell you what's happening with this guy here, with Mourinho. You know that I don't like him personally, but
I'm with you right now. So
just walk away, enjoy your win, and then let the chips fall where they may. But this guy here, since nobody's been talking about him, actually the talk about him has been nothing but negative. He wanted to just get back to everybody, and just with a gesture like that, I said, you know what? Screw all of you. Yeah, I still count, and take this loss a year and shove it up somewhere else.
Mourinho
Yeah,
actually
listen.
said, can I just say what he said after the game? He was just like, I was insulted for 90 minutes since I've been here, and I just came here to do my job and nothing else.
yeah, he said that.
But he did say afterwards that he was like, he shouldn't have done it. It was like, it was in the heat
Guys,
of the moment
listen,
and
listen,
stuff.
listen. This is sports.
So-
We said
I
this
know,
when
I have.
Chelsea
That's
did it with
true.
Saudi.
Yeah.
I don't find anything wrong with this. You're passionate in a moment where your team was losing 1-0 in the Champions League. You beat Juventus, one of the best teams in the world. You're not gonna go crazy and celebrate. Okay, listen.
That's
I'm not
different
saying that it's not
celebrations.
professional.
Celebrating is
That's
one thing,
different.
Marco.
Yo, relax.
Celebrating, you say, yeah, guys, or something like
It's a
that.
business.
Unless
Just
Spalletti
doing
does it,
like
of
that.
course.
Listen.
You are
Yeah.
instigating people.
Listen,
I
listen,
agree.
listen.
Spalletti,
Guys,
forget about it. That's why-
He can't do that.
See, they learn these things from when they play in Inter or when they coach Inter. Any of those guys that are in Inter,
Oh, come on.
that they go through this
Guys.
famous team, they come back like
Yo, but listen, we've all played football. We've all played.
I
You
think-
know that when you're going against a rival and somebody's calling you from the sideline the entire match saying you're not good enough, they're insulting you. Oh, it's okay. You go like this to them. I'm not saying it's the best thing in the world, but come on, don't focus on this. Juventus fans, I see them already. They're going crazy on Mourinho. Focus on your team
Wait.
losing the
No,
match
it's true.
because
Wait,
there's no
it's true.
concentration. Don't get mad at Mourinho.
One thing that you're forgetting, it's not just the people on the sideline. You know how many million people that watching the game? When you do something like this, you disrespect it. Just
Come
all the
on, no
audience over there.
disrespect. It's sports.
It is sports. What
It's
are you kidding
sports.
me?
Come on, he didn't curse them out. He said, "What now? You've been calling me all game."
Actually, he was cursing. You couldn't read the he was cursing too.
You couldn't read. How do you know this?
I can tell you right away. I can tell you. Watch the replay.
Anyway,
Alright.
Let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on. We'll just stay on today since we're already there. Roma did get a win in Russia, a difficult win where they were up 1-0. We were watching the game together, and then CSKA Moscow actually came back into the match. They were there 1-1. Dzeko was not really into this game. I think that's one thing. Peter, Michael, and we all watched the game together, and we were saying that it was very surprising, first of all, that Roma are able to win without a Dzeko goal. But Dzeko not being involved definitely had a play for Roma. But luckily enough, and I say lucky because if you check the replay after Pellegrini's goal, he is offsides. I think he's offsides 2 times.
He was, yeah.
He was offsides on the initial, and
He
then
was.
Dzeko touches, he's offsides. So again, VAR in the Champions League.
Man,
But
it's not our fault. Bring
listen,
VAR
it
into
happened last year with Roma-Liverpool.
Exactly. It could
Liverpool
happen to
scored an
any team.
offsides goal against Roma. It was a worse time to do it. But I think that this is a tough game too. CSKA and Moscow. I don't remember. Did they beat Real Madrid in Spain or did they beat
No, they
Real
beat in Russia.
In Russia. So listen, in Russia, it's very hard. I know it was freezing cold. So Roma getting the job done, which was very good. And
We didn't
I
talk
was-
about the most important Mano last goal in the 4th minute. Looped it over the goalkeeper. Started off right. If he didn't score that, who knows how the game would have ended.
Oh,
You got to start fast.
Mike-
Get a nice goal.
Mike is
a
right.
nice 3 points back
Mike
to
is
Roma.
right.
And that's how you go.
boy.
And now they're tied on top with Real Madrid.
Manolas
And
all the way.
Favorites to
All the
go
way.
into the knockout round. They only need 1 point in their next 2 games. So
It
it's
doesn't
looking good for Roma.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how you get through. The most important thing is
Yeah.
that you get
Exactly.
through, and that
Whether
could be
it's on
something
last
for
goal or
Juventus
anything.
also. You lose one game, rather lose it now in the group stage
it's
than
true.
later in the
Of course,
in the knockouts. So
it's good perspective.
it's just important to pass, and it looks like all the Italian teams are there. Roma, like we said, it was even. This game was a true sense of their season. It was an up and down game. They had chances, but they also gave up a lot of chances. CSK. CSK got the red card down to 10 men.
That's true.
Roma able to get the score. They could have even made it 3-1 and just
they had a lot of chances.
Eliminate any mysterious stuff going on afterwards. But the most important thing is they got to win, and they got to win away. So
exactly.
Wait, just to finish up this whole thing here now, I want to go back to Juventus again one more time.
Oh boy.
We were. I was listening a little bit at the Sky Studio interview that Ilaria D'Amico. She's Buffon's girlfriend or wife or whatever she is. She was somehow happy on a bittersweet. Like said, see what you got? You sent my husband away from Torino, and you got this goalkeeper.
We gotta talk. We'll talk about.
Wait
it.
a moment. No, I'm
No,
telling you
no,
right
I'm
now.
just saying.
So what happened for her? She got to interview Mourinho, and I saw the smile on the face like it was bittersweet. In other words, she was not really that upset that Juventus lost because her husband was not there. But because
did you read this the same way you read Mourinho cursing out the Juventus?
I did. I listened. Body language. It's 100%.
I agree with
a
you.
Message for
I agree
anything.
with you.
The same way Mourinho did this. I read the body language of Ilaria D'Amico interviewing Mourinho with a big smile. I mean, you can see the old job.
I think we're gonna need a segment, body language reading with Antonio.
Oh yes,
and we'll go through every person.
Listen, you can put her on the phone. She'll agree with me. So.
To finish off about Roma, one of those games like you said. Consistently inconsistent, but like you said about the Italian teams, if we go to the day before, and we'll go to Inter and Barcelona, sold out San Siro, which was beautiful. It's actually the most an Italian team has ever made in ticket sales ever.
Right.
So very good for that. Obviously, they're raising the ticket prices,
It doesn't matter.
which is the big part of it. Listen, the game. I thought that for a tie. I know that a lot of Inter fans feel like that this was such a bad result, but I was pretty surprised.
No, I think Inter fans for the most part were pretty satisfied.
I don't know. I saw
that
a lot of mixed.
What
do you feel like, Peter? Because I heard
due to the performance, comparing to the performance.
Let's have Peter comment last. So that because he probably has more than any one of us.
That's true.
Okay, listen, Barcelona, they played.
I think they're more superior.
Barcelona is at a different level. Yeah. Okay, they're more superior, but I commend Inter for playing a high pressure game from the first minute. That they put pressure on Barcelona. At times they could have gotten hurt because then when you press high, that means the team is very spread, and then you leave in the back 1-against-1, and those guys are fast, and you have the chance that they go in front of the goal by themselves. So I commend Spalletti for playing aggressive and for doing a good job. Not so much in the last few minutes. In the last few minutes of the game, you're still pressing the goalkeeper. That I don't agree. There's 5 minutes to go. Why are you pressing the goalkeeper? Come a little bit back. That's when they got the goal. And then it was a great job to tie that game. It was very, very difficult, but I'm glad that they tied. But when you watch Barcelona and when you watch the other teams, look at Barcelona, and they do this more than any other team. The players, they do not think about where the ball is going to go. They know where the ball is going to go before they get the ball. And if you watch it, there are times, 30 seconds, 40 seconds, where the ball is just automatic. It's unbelievable. And then you watch the other players or you watch the other games, and you see that the player gets the ball, he stops it, and then he thinks, where's the ball going to go? So for the young players, if you are playing, try to look left, right, behind, and know where your teammates are before you get the ball. So when you get the ball, you can just pass it, and that makes it more difficult to defend against.
Barcelona have always been, I think, for years, especially growing up, they were always that team that everybody knew. They had that tiki-taka. They knew they always looked for triangles, and there's a lot of videos you can watch on YouTube of that. But at the end of the day, they didn't have Messi, of course. And before I go a little bit further, I just want to recommend Antonio was in the city and he was watching this game with some Barcelona fans.
Oh my God.
And it was absolutely hilarious, the videos that you sent us. That was not scripted. We did not tell Antonio to send
He just sent it out of nowhere.
He just randomly sent it. It's on our Instagram and IGTV, so go check that out right now. But before, just a comment. Yes, Barcelona, you stuck on Barcelona. I'm going to go to Icardi because Mauro Icardi consistently proving he always had this
He's
chip.
a killer. He's a killer.
I'll say he had a chip on his shoulder where everyone would say, oh, but he never did it in Champions League. But he never played in Champions League. And his first season in Champions League, first 4 games, 3 goals. And these 3 goals have proved to be so important. Of course, you got to be happy.
You must be happy.
And I know Vanda also is...
Wanda.
She's thinking about next contract extension.
Oh yeah.
She already started...
She's already working on.
But I think that Mauro Icardi, now the world, Italy, we always knew, but the world, because everybody watches Champions League, and especially Barcelona, you hear this sense of Icardi as that world-class striker that we knew he is, and he's a killer. Criticize him that he's not always involved in the match, but when he is involved, he is going to hurt you, no matter what team it is.
Peter, the funny thing is, all the comments, all these like Manchester, all these English Premier League fans, like, wow, this Icardi guy's looking good. We got to bring him next season. And everyone, all the Interisti were going crazy, like, yeah, right, he's not going anywhere. So it's fun to see him on the big stage where, deserves to be a world-class striker and just showing off what he could do.
Hey, listen, I want to bring something up. You remember the segment that we had last week with Gaetano being the maestro, showing exactly what the formations are and all the stuff? I kind of, unfortunately, I don't have this one here recorded, but I can prove it to you. So I asked the Barcelona group over there, which they took over the entire bar.
Wow.
And they put, the banners, they put everything. I mean, it's like they owned the bar, those guys.
There wasn't any fans over there.
I asked them, I said, so you guys, played the 4-3-3. And he said, what makes your 4-3-3 better than the Inter 4-3-3? He said, it's the way we attack the ball. He said, one of the guys that was the leader of the team, he said, our 4-3-3 transform is 2-5-2 when we are offending the player, because the two lateral defenders they had to the midfield and they actually go down and deep attack the other team, whether you are in ball possession and whether you're not in ball possession, even in defending on the opposite field. So to the point that Gaetano was making, Barcelona, they know each other on every little square inch of the field where they are before they get the ball. And again, for the youth watching the game, before you even get the ball, just know where the ball is going to go next and create the space for yourself, just to fill up the empty space.
All right.
Now, wait, one more thing. There is Steve Nash that I'm 100% sure that is watching Gaetano and our podcast IFTV.
Don't talk bad about Steve Nash.
Wait a moment. Steve Nash is our friend. We love him. Steve, we love you. We love you. Actually, you're welcome to come. Actually, you're invited to the podcast.
And Steve is a friend.
Steve is a friend. So I think Steve Nash is watching Gaetano just doing the maestro over there on the board.
Yeah, right.
And on half time, he's starting to to play around with those little
Just let me tell you something. Steve Nash could have been a professional
soccer player.
So
Grande Stefano, right?
Yeah. So it was doing the Grande Maestro on the board over there. I don't know if it was on Fox or if it was on another channel.
Yeah. Bleacher Report, right?
TNT.
Oh, TNT.
Oh, TNT. Okay, so whatever the case might be, so you guys, all our viewers, I mean, you know that this is not about you or us.
Don't go into this.
No. I'm telling you, no. This is to show you that on this podcast, it's what counts is the view of everybody. We're here to teach and to learn from you guys too, okay? So you're the maestro over here for teaching you guys, and we are here to learn what you guys wanted to know from us.
That's
and
true.
What you think, what you care about it. Right or wrong, Pete?
Okay, I want to hear from Peter now. Peter, can somebody talk about Inter, please?
Okay.
Please.
Listen, this game was very important for us. The most important thing was not to lose, okay? But I think the mentality was that we're Inter, and we want to prove that we deserve to be on this stage. And we, Spalletti from the get-go had his team pressing very high. It's a risk because especially with Barcelona, where they're so good at being able to pass the ball, move the ball, and quickly bring it up. Like we would press, and Barcelona made 3 or 4 passes, and they were in the midfield already. And when you have Dembele on one side, Coutinho on the other, and Suarez, who I think is a top striker because he can invent something out of nothing. It's dangerous. One-on-one, I think Skriniar by far with Handanovic was amazing. 1-on-1 versus Dembele, took the ball out off his
Great
feet.
defense by Inter.
Unbelievable. I mean, Barcelona definitely played better than Inter. Inter had some chances. You know, as the game went on, we could have scored some goals on the counterattack. I think Perisic did great. He put a lot of dangerous ball. Politano in the second half really came out of his shell, and they started moving a little bit better. But I have to say, what's great about Barcelona's style is not beside. We know already how they play tiki-taka, how offensive minded they are. But it's when they lose the ball, how quickly they're able to recuperate that ball.
Immediately.
They get the ball right. How many times Inter won the first ball, and then the second ball they will lose it. We didn't have that ability in the midfield. I think Nainggolan this game really struggled. Coming back from an injury, he wasn't himself, and we didn't have that outlet. Brozovic also we made a lot of unforced errors passing the ball. I just remember in the beginning, first 20 minutes, De Vrij giving the ball right to the Dembele could have been really, really bad.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, Brozovic also the ball in front of it. What are you trying to dribble three people?
Yeah.
One of his worst games since Spalletti's been on Inter. But all in all, Inter showed the fight that they have this year. You know, being able to go down, you know, versus Barcelona, 83rd minute, where there's not much time now to recuperate. You know, Lautaro Martinez comes in. He made a great play, put the ball back in the box.
Yeah.
Somehow, some way, Icardi gets that ball. It seems like this year he's really a magnet in the area. Turns, and he knows what to do with it. You know, a lot of people complain that Icardi doesn't join in the attack, doesn't stuff. Yes, I understand that. I even say sometimes, like, if only he can learn how to play from outside the box. But when he's in the area, he's probably the most
he's
lethal player.
He reads the game so well.
And
I love that about him.
Just last thing, I mean, this game meant so much for the Inter fans, and you could see when they scored how great it was to have the Champions League, have Barcelona and Milan again. And I just hope that, you know, we have, like, you know, we would have loved to have won this game. But like Juventus, it's still in our hands. We win the next game.
Yeah.
They're through.
You know, not that they're
The
through
situation's
automatically,
not-
but it's in their favor.
A quick comment on Lautaro Martinez, because I saw him play with Argentina when he was here, and I think he's a good player. He's a great player. But why I never seen him play with together with Icardi? Is Spalletti? Is he going to try it? Do you think he's going to try it in the future? I mean, you could play the 4-4-2, and I mean,
Who you sacrifice, Gaetano?
You don't have to try it. I don't know, against Milan or against. But you could try with the other games that you play. You know, try and.
I think in the future, definitely he's going to try it. I think right now he doesn't want to try it because for the simple fact that Inter's playing well. We won 7 straight games between Serie A and stuff before this tie. So he's happy with the formation, and I think everything is working right now. And he's giving Icardi the chance when he needs to take a break, and he puts Lautaro Martinez. I definitely think them two can work together, even though necessarily Lautaro Martinez is a striker in all effect, that he's not really a second striker that's going to look to make the assist, even though he can do it. He's more technically gifted than Icardi, and he's been able to play in the trequartista role when he's been asked to. But his main position, I look at him and I think, you know, if he's able to be half of Agüero, that would be amazing. But he's that type of player. He's quick, he's feisty, he's small, and he's got a good center of gravity that he can really be that prime goal scorer. So
if anything,
it's interesting. He's young.
Exactly.
He's young also.
He's 20, 21 years old. If anything, it's an addition for Inter as the season goes on, where he could be put in where there's injuries, where there's, you know, Icardi sits down or whatever.
He finally has someone to take
let's go to the other Champions League match, which was another very exciting one. PSG and Napoli. Napoli, PSG. The return of Cavani in Naples, which was a good moment also. And funnily enough, in Italy this week, we had the 3 best players in the world, if you want to put it like that. We had Ronaldo in Torino, right, this week. We had Messi, who is in Milano. Okay, whatever.
Still in the country.
Yeah, he's still in the country. And we had Neymar, also in Naples. So I think a rare moment that some of the best players were all in Italy. But anyway.
And Mano lost in Rome. But okay.
Well, he was in Moscow.
Oh,
crap. Okay, so I was wrong. Marco was right. There's 3.
But anyway, 1-1 draw in Naples. And another one of those matches where mixed feelings, I think, because the way that I felt about the match, and I know Michael felt about the match, some of our friends who are more neutral to loving the Serie A felt like PSG deserved a lot more than they did, because I felt like Napoli had plenty of chances.
Yeah.
Wait, you don't.
Wait.
Napoli deserved to win the game for me.
No, I mean, I felt like PSG did have great chances, but they were also struck with Koulibaly, who, again, like Icardi showing the world who he is, showing Europe who he is, Koulibaly, what he did to Mbappe is going around everywhere.
Koulibaly is so incredible.
He's
There's
unbelievable.
no words to describe how good his talent. I can't even speak. He's so good.
That was one thing that I think PSG faced.
100%.
But I thought Napoli had plenty of chances in this match. And Lorenzo Insigne, again, I know that these freaking guys, and I don't want to get mean, but every comment that, he scores in big games for Napoli, and then every freaking reply is, why doesn't he do that with Azzurri?
Yeah,
You're talking about what he did with Napoli.
They always mention that at Immobile. They always bring that up.
Immobile, I'm a little bit more on their side, because Insigne does it in big games in Real Madrid and PSG. He scores important goals. So I'd say for Napoli, I was very surprised that there was this sense that they didn't deserve even a draw, which I thought was.
No, it was to me. Napoli should have won the game on the second half. They didn't play a great first half, but they play a spectacular second half, and they deserve to win the game hands down.
I thought it was comparing for the first leg, PSG played a little bit better than the first leg, but it was still back and forth. Napoli had a lot of chances. I think if Buffon wasn't starting, I really think Napoli would have got the 3 points, because Buffon that game, he was coming back from that 4-match ban, 3-match ban in the Champions League. He was incredible. It's like he didn't drop a step after he
He's
left.
never dropped a
from
step.
Juventus.
I told you guys this before.
Just even extra.
Everybody
just
at
even
the
extra.
table.
No, he was
It's
very
like they
good.
were shooting targets. Those guys, all the shots they
He
were
went
at
the right
goal-
way on the penalty.
They were at the
too.
goalkeeper.
Yeah, the penalty too.
Come
He couldn't
on.
even go on. He went all the way there.
He said that he was trying to make Insigne laugh.
Oh,
But
yeah.
Insigne, if you watch the
Insigne was
replay,
looking down.
yeah,
Insigne was looking down.
Yeah, he
Well,
was
well,
looking the other way.
listen, he's
No.
not-
I'm gonna say something first.
Go
No,
ahead,
because
go ahead.
I remember I told you guys that this guy has minimum. I'm gonna say one more time, minimum 2 years left inside of him. In the most important moments in the Champions League against Napoli,
He pulled up.
he is still the top. Juventus made a big mistake letting him go. 15 years in the Champions. This is his 15th season in the Champions League.
He wouldn't make those mistakes Chesney did. I don't think.
But I mean, this is stuff that I already know. The podcast table maybe not, but Antonio maybe not. But
Here,
anyway,
I wanna make
he
a
saved
quick-
the game. I agree with you, Michael.
I
I
want to
agree
make a
with
quick
you.
comment just to pick up on what you just said. If you look on the paper, look how many $1 million this PSG.
I could give you a fact.
Right,
They
just
spent
give to me.
500 million on their
Okay.
team. Napoli spent 100 million on their
Okay,
team.
so this is just right there. The advantage that the PSG showed on the field was not
With that big of a
evident.
difference.
Nothing.
5 times of a
If
difference.
anything, Napoli played very well in France, in Paris, and he deserved to win even over here.
Napoli have a
right
better coach,
there,
too.
Right there, money badly spent by this French. Who's the owner of PSG? Abramovich or whatever?
No, that's Chelsea.
I think
I don't
they
remember
got-
his name.
it's-
Either
no,
way.
it's a
either
sheik.
way,
Whatever.
either way.
He has a sheik,
Either
right?
way.
It's a sheik, whatever. So in other words, the guy.
No,
he's got
it's
easy
not a
money.
she.
It's a sheik.
Sheik.
Whatever.
Patrick Schick.
Okay, whatever. Hey, so you're putting what 500 million against $100 million. It's $400 million right there. You can buy 10 teams. As far as I'm concerned. So hey,
It's a lot of players.
so I tip my hat to Ancelotti again. Ancelotti's been showing that expensive player like Neymar and all the stuff, they do not scare anybody, especially when they come to play into our home.
I mean,
We know
Neymar
to play-
was-
we
Neymar
know
was
to
good,
play
though.
defense. We know how to play defense. We have Koulibaly. We have a system that is been made for everybody to suffer.
It's
okay?
pretty incredible what
Nobody-
Ancelotti's doing, though.
yeah,
so
I-
little time.
He was so pissed after
Listen,
that goal.
I'm not.
too.
I'm
You're not surprised at all, really?
Napoli's been playing tough for the past four years.
But we're talking
Even with
Ancelotti
Sarri.
now,
No,
to-
I'm saying
to fit
even
in,
with
so-
Sarri, the team is pretty much the same. He's made some adjustments. Ancelotti can only benefit Napoli in the fact that he's has such great Champions League experience and experience with great teams. He knows how to manage the players.
Mhm.
He's made different substitutions compared to
He changed the
Sarri.
tactics, formation, the
Yes.
more squad rotation. There's a lot of
100%. But the
changes.
players
Yeah.
that he has,
Yeah,
is-
for the most part, it's there.
have been competing within the Champions League versus top teams. They've had some tough groups in the past, so I'm not surprised. The ability of Napoli is definitely at the same level as Juventus, Inter, all the Serie A teams that we
They're
have.
the
They
only
can
Serie A
compete.
team that's unbeaten in
in the
Champions League.
Champions
right
League.
now.
I mean,
that's right.
Oh,
Napoli.
Napoli.
beautiful.
I Carlo is doing a great job with Napoli. It's that's without a doubt. I was disappointed with Carlo Ancelotti against PSG because in the first half they didn't play good. In the first half they didn't put any pressure. In the first half the game was boring. Once they went and they were losing 1-0, then they woke up and they had so many chances to score and to put the game away. But why didn't he do that before? I mean, he should have done that from the first minute, like Inter did from the first minute against Barcelona. They put pressure because they wanted to win the game. And I think in this game, Ancelotti, he should have put pressure from the beginning. And I was disappointed for that. In the last game that they played against PSG, he was 2 minutes and 30 seconds away from getting a win, and he's putting pressure on the goalkeeper on that game. That I didn't understand either. He did a great job against PSG. He was winning, but with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the game, you pressing the goalkeeper. I thought that was not also appropriate. And then Neymar got the ball in midfield. He took off from midfield, which you should have blocked him. And Alan was right next to him on the sideline. Just stopped it.
Just level him down, even get a red card.
Stop him, go in front of him. There's 2 minutes left on the game. Anyway, this is what
question. Does that influence Ancelotti's decision or maybe the players? Because sometimes the players don't react the way the coach wants them in the beginning of the game. So, I mean, obviously, if you high press, you notice the team going up to high press. But maybe the fact that they succeeded a goal so late because they were high pressing the whole game, maybe Ancelotti said, let's try to settle down a little bit. We have the fans, so if we go down, we can always bring the team back. But the fact is, it's like a chess game, Cautious. Make sure you understand what the game calls for, and then be able to.
I agree with
adapt.
Peter Gaetano.
But I'm not sure. That's a question that.
No, Gaetano. I agree with
No,
Peter.
Spalletti, the day before, 2 days, he said we're going to put a high pressure game on.
But they both got the same result.
Why?
They both got the same result at the end of the day.
I felt like that the way that Napoli started the game and the first half, they were just.
So is it Ancelotti or the players not responding?
No, it's Ancelotti.
Ancelotti.
Yeah. He determines how he's going to play the game. Maybe he doesn't have control in the last 2 minutes of the game. If you play a certain way, in the last 2 minutes of the game, one of the players is putting pressure on the goalkeeper. He might not, but the way you start the game, it's the way the coach tells you. You either play the high pressure game, which Spalletti told them, I'm going to play a high pressure, I'm going to put you pressure. Ancelotti did not do that. But when they were losing 1-0, all of a sudden they woke up and they played the best soccer. And there's so many chances that they could have won the game.
But here's my take. Wait, one second, Marco. I agree with Peter because Peter analysis, I think, to me, is better than, not that it's better than Gaetano. It's different than Gaetano. But I'll tell you the reasons why I agree with him. Because Ancelotti, I don't think he wanted to just, finish the game, short of breath for everybody else. So that's why the first half he was taking it easy because, he had no pressure of winning the game immediately on the first half. Unfortunately, as soon as they got the goal against, he had to put he had to speed up everything else, and he had to move the baricentro of forward. So there is no way that you can just relax for another 10-15 minutes after you received the first goal and you're losing 1-0. And I mean. The second point is that you're playing home. You have to show that you're gonna leave everything over there on the field. So there is no question about it. Once you receive a goal and you're down 1-0, your speed is gonna have the double right there immediately. So
Well, they let the goal in before the
first half.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
first half just
5 seconds right after.
The whole second half.
Let me say something about that goal. There were 8 defenders.
I know.
Yeah, that was horrible.
8 defenders from
defense.
Napoli, and one guy goes in and you score the goal. Are you crazy?
Who was it, Bernat?
You know what I think? Bernat and what's his name? Ancelotti after the match, he was like, "Oh, this guy's never scored a goal in his life." He said, "I coached because I coached with him." He said, "But now he has to score against me." He said, "I get what I deserve."
Funny.
But I think that to me, where the bitterness comes in for this match is really that Liverpool did not pick up their points. They lost. Liverpool lost, and I thought, it's still a good. I'm not saying it's not good, but I thought that with Liverpool losing, if Napoli could really get this result, which they almost did, it would have just been a perfect week.
Perfect storm.
Perfect storm.
There's
Exactly.
always like that because you could have said the same thing in Serbia if they picked up the 2 points. And
I know, but Liverpool, and to me, I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Klopp. I've said this for years. I just wanted. I thought that it was a good opportunity for Napoli, but either way,
They're in a
things
good
happen.
position. They're in a good
And
position.
yeah, so let's what?
No, I'm saying that group is the hardest group.
Yeah,
a group of
6
death.
points,
Yeah,
6
yeah.
points, 5 points,
And
4 points. Anybody at any time, if they catch fire,
You're right.
could
You're right.
could
One win
advance.
changes the whole table.
So the only thing is Napoli has a tough game at,
Yeah.
Liverpool.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, you're right,
Anfield,
you're right.
And that's going to be the deciding
I think
game.
so.
At the end of the
That's what it
day,
is. It
this
comes
is.
down to that.
I think that PSG and Liverpool have both been underwhelming because everybody rates them as Champions League final teams. This team, they're gonna roll all over, and I think that it's been a surprise for how difficult it's been, not only to Napoli but to who else? Who's the team that goes Stella Rossa, right?
Rossa.
Red Star.
Red Star.
You guys are overrating those teams.
Not me. No.
What are you
No.
talking
We're not
about?
saying it's the
From
general.
the very beginning, I
No,
said
no.
Napoli is going through this stuff here.
The
Remember?
general perception. The
Oh,
general
okay.
perception. Anyway, we'll go to Serie A. I almost forgot because it's been Champions League.
It's been a while, right? Change
This
the whole
Champions League
perspective.
week is just incredible. The amount of good games that we have. I'll run through the scores and then we'll just pick and comment on whatever we want.
Yeah.
We shouldn't go through the game.
Yeah.
Inter won 5-0 against Genoa without Mauro Icardi. Fiorentina 1-1 against Roma. Juventus beat Cagliari 3-1 after it was 1-1. Lazio 4-1 against Spal. Parma Frosinone 0-0. Torino 4-1 over Sampdoria.
Surprising.
Atalanta 2-1 over Inzaghi's Bologna. And AC Milan at the death. Romagnoli once again,
Again,
97th
back-to-back
minute.
winners.
Romagnoli gets the game winner. I say we start there because
How nice
to
was
me,
that goal?
Even it was exciting for me. We know Romagnoli the week before, not the week before, a few days before, he got the game-winning goal, and now again
They
huge-
checked VAR too, right? They got a little nervous on that one. We're like, oh.
No,
boy.
I mean the referee, the linesman, raised his flag.
Yeah,
he called it
we're-
offsides,
yeah,
but the
it
guy
was
was
very
nowhere near
questionable.
offsides. So luckily we have VAR, and I know we didn't really talk about the decisions, and you guys probably didn't see, but Manchester City were given a penalty kick today in Champions League.
They won
that the guy
5-0, but
tripped-
yeah, it was
the guy tripped
horrendous.
over his
6.
foot.
No, he hit the floor.
yeah,
he
hit
went
the
hit
grass,
the
hit
floor.
the grass.
He hit the grass,
And
and
they
they
gave
gave
it
it a
a
penalty
penalty.
kick. Literally, the
I
defender
saw
was far away. Show him in the meantime.
Anyway.
But anyway, that's just one thing. So luckily you had the VAR,
Yeah.
and it came to your favor this time. And Milan, they needed this win over Udinese.
All right, just don't spoil it because I'm still enjoying the win. And you
Spoil
know.
what?
Well, no, what I'm saying is we are still on the Champions League contention, and let's keep it that way. And I'm going to be enjoying a lot more when AC Milan is going to beat Juventus next week.
You wanna make a bet over
Sunday.
it?
No, a jersey bet.
It's up
You want to do a jersey bet?
What is that jersey bet? What is that?
Now you're acting stupid.
I'm
now you're
wearing you. Okay, I'll do that. I'll do that with you. Okay, what if there is a tie?
Nothing.
Nothing happens.
I don't care.
You wear the Inter
We both
jersey.
wear a body
You wear the
jersey.
Cassano.
We
yeah.
both wear a body jersey.
All right. Yes.
So I'll wear a Milan jersey. If
should've
Juventus
said
lose, you
I'll
wear
wear a Juventus jersey. Yeah.
I think you want to wear a Juventus jersey a little bit.
No way.
Come over to
Hey,
winning side.
You kidding me? No way.
But
Like
anyway.
wearing toilet paper for me.
Well, I'm gonna get the toilet paper ready for this week. But anyway, any other game? Which game you guys want to pick and choose? Everybody just take a game that you want to say.
I would say Roma disappointed me for time against Fiorentina.
I'm not. I mean, I think you and I both predicted that
Manolas
this is
wasn't
gonna be a
playing that
tie.
game. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
Go through the
yeah,
results.
just for the record,
Oh
boy.
Oh.
Oh,
I think
brother.
I gotta change it, bro.
I was
brother.
about 10 seconds away from getting a perfect score, but
Stop
Two times.
AC,
Milan, probably.
AC Milan won in the last. I had
I
a
put it off
tie.
that. I had
So
a
America.
I got ties 2 times.
So AC Milan Genoa, AC Milan won. So I had Antonio, me and Mike had the right score. Napoli versus Empoli, everybody had Napoli winning, so everybody had the perfect score. Inter Genoa, Inter won, but Antonio had.
I have to get even with Peter.
He had 2.
He gives an X to AC Milan. I have to get even with him.
So
Not
if
because
he
I
jumps
didn't
off
think,
a bridge, you're gonna
not
jump
because
too.
I didn't think
So
that Inter could have won.
everybody
I was
had-
praying for them to lose or tie the game.
Everybody had Inter except Antonio. Fiorentina Roma, it was a tie game. Me and Marco had the tie. Everybody else
surprise,
had
yeah.
Roma winning. Juventus Cagliari, everybody had winning except Antonio. He had a tie.
It's because I gave Milan a tie. That's why you went there.
And so at the end, Peter gets 3 points.
Okay.
Antonio gets 3 points.
3.
Mike gets 4 points.
Oh, wow.
And
We tied?
me and Marco get 5 points.
You guys are doing
Bad-
some
bad
father-son cheating over here. We gotta get this
Oh,
done.
that's it. By the way, look at
Yeah,
this.
look at
it.
Watch this. Look. He hits the ground. He hit the ground.
Yeah,
He hit the turf.
He should have said something.
What's that?
Oh,
No, the only
thank
thing that
you.
I want to say about is about the VAR. In Fiorentina, Roma, there was.
Look at that. Pep Guardiola was telling him that he hit the floor. I don't know if you see this.
He just moved his finger out.
He said not. No, because he put his hand up that it wasn't a penalty.
Yeah, he should have. They should have told him.
Anyway.
You're winning.
That's a disgrace. I find it a disgrace.
I want to know the
Anyway.
score though during that.
Let him finish his point. Let him finish his point.
Go ahead.
He just mad his last
So,
play.
Sorry.
Anyway, I wanted to talk about the VAR. In Fiorentina, Roma, there was no penalty. When we looked at in the VAR, I mean, we saw that
Absolutely not.
he was running and then he hit the guy's head and he fell down and they gave a penalty. Now, the reason why they didn't go to the VAR, because they didn't, is because when the referee he has a clear view of what happened and he makes a decision of what happened, and there's no clear mistake, then the protocol calls they do not go to the VAR. And this is something that Antonio has been saying for many times, that you should always go to the VAR and let the guys in the VAR say, hey, you might want to look at this. But in this case, there is no VAR. And I heard also Bruno Giordano that we should invite it, one of these days we should invite it here. He was saying, well, why don't we let the coach have a saying, and if he wants to call maybe once in the whole game or twice in the whole game to go to the VAR, he can make a decision and say, okay, this one should be reviewed. In this case, if they would have reviewed, I think we would agree that it was not a penalty the way the things develop. The other thing that I wanted to say about the VAR was Sampdoria against Torino. There was a cross where Bellotti from the back, when the cross is about to be crossed, from the back, he goes like this a little bit, which he puts the defender at a little bit disadvantage or out of balance. Maybe he cannot jump as high. And then he went up and he scored the goal. And I heard the comments from the people at on TV, and they were saying that the referee never calls that's never called.
That's not true.
And they agreed that that's not a foul and that should never be called. And I cannot understand how these people, they're on TV, the guy put his hand on the defender, he put him a little bit out of balance, he went up, and that's not a foul because it's never been called before, because that is not a foul. I mean, to me, that's a disgrace for for soccer. So that's all I have from that Sunday after I got almost.
Wait a second. No, wait a second.
Oh,
That's the only thing.
There's another VAR situation.
Oh, of course now. Juventus. What about the Juventus one?
The handball.
What about?
Oh, Juventus. The guy was controlling the ball with his elbow.
Okay, so they went. I saw that one too. Juventus, I mean, they won. So
So it doesn't matter what happens to you.
I mean,
Anyway.
it did not have an effect on the
It was
the
a
result.
tie.
Okay,
What
so
happened?
on that one, the referee did go and watched on the VAR,
And this guy can't see this?
and he said that he went like this. The referee went like
No,
this.
I think he did shoulder.
Okay, he went like this. So if he went like
No,
this,
no,
it's a
he did
foul.
this, he did
No,
this.
he went. It was more of a.
Oh my God,
Okay, but
guys,
that's not a
keep
show.
going.
This is shoulder.
Keep going. Guys, look at
I
it.
think it was a shoulder.
It's controlled with his elbow.
Dude,
Okay.
What are you saying? This your elbow.
Marco,
Look at it.
Marco, this is an area where
Wait,
the ball.
yo, you guys' eyes working? Look at the
Listen,
look
I
at
think
it.
it was shoulder.
Guys, I'll show the video.
Okay.
Aye.
I'm just telling you that the referee went to look at it, and when he came back, he went like this, like he hit his shoulder.
Okay.
So he did not look at it. Maybe he should have looked at
He did
from
look.
a
They
di-
showed us the replay, actually, what he was watching, and you could see it.
Okay.
But I'm just saying. I'm
This
just
is your
saying.
shoulder.
This
This
is-
is his shoulder.
This is
It doesn't
where
matter
It's a
where-
handball. If it's here, it's a handball.
It was here.
Mike, I just showed you the picture.
I saw it multiple times. I saw it 100 times.
But listen, guys, how many times we're going to be repeating this stuff here? It should not be the referee's call. You pay people to be on the VAR. You can just look
But he's the
away,
final
you can look at the
decision.
ceiling.
He gets a final. He
Listen
looked
to
at
me.
it.
In any other professional sports, the referee is the last person to make the call. And I'm going to repeat it again one more time. This is professional sport. If you have somebody on a room looking at the game and you have a commission of a minimum 3 people or maybe 5 people, 3 out of 5 or 2 out of 3, they're going to say, yes, it is, no, it isn't. The referee should not be involved in this kind of calls. Let them decide and let them say, yes, it is, not it is, and end of the story.
They did talk about it, that for the future, the VAR will stay, but it needs to make some adjustments.
Improve it, yeah.
And those are some improvements that need to be made. But as far as right now, that is what the protocol is, and you cannot change that. You want to change it for next year? You wait, and then next year they can change it.
Let's talk about the important part.
Going back to this, the referee did go and look at it. And I think maybe if they had a different view from the did they show from
you
the
could
front?
see it. No, they actually. I like now on TV now. They also show you what the referee's looking at, so you could tell the angle. And I mean, everyone could tell. But let's go back one sec. Let's take a step back because there was also a handball from Juventus on this one with Benatia in the same match. And so for this one, I can't remember the Cagliari player. Bradavic. I don't remember his name. We'll just say that his intention was controlling the ball with his arm, and that was one of the arguments that they were making, is it's a penalty because he went to go stop it with the ball. You know, it's not like Benatia, who they said Benatia, he headed it and then it hits your hand. And I'm a little bit confused also on the rules too, because I thought that it was going to be called a penalty kick against Juventus, and I was even telling Michael, I said, I think they're going to give a penalty.
I was thinking that too, yeah.
And no, it's not in this one. He was right. Oh wait,
this is last year's.
But it would be the handball, right?
No, it'll still show.
So they were saying,
I gave Marco this as a Christmas present.
That's not true.
Rules of the game.
Hey, I think that we need to study these rules over here. But anyway, they were saying the pundits, they were saying that Benatia, if it's head to hand, then it's not because. You know,
usually
it didn't hit your hand first.
Usually, if it hits the part of your body that you're able to play, and then it ricochets or hits off your arm,
that doesn't count.
It's not intentional.
Yeah.
But there's a difference. But if the arm is in an unnatural position and it's out in the open, then that could be, to the referee's discretion, a handball.
I mean, it was a little out.
If it bounced out and then his hand's over here when he's jumping, and
it wasn't that out. It was like half tucked, half. It was like over here.
But that's a natural position.
Yeah, exactly.
When you're up here like this, right? You're gonna head the ball. This is a natural position. So if you head it and then you miss and it hits your arm,
that's what happened. No, he didn't miss.
I think if it hits,
it
hits his arm. It's a natural position. So I don't think it should be considered a handball. Meanwhile, the other one, you don't think so?
What?
The fact that if he heads the ball and then it bounces off.
No, I agree. That's not a penalty.
Yeah. Okay.
I agree.
What were you going to say?
What I don't understand is sometimes I see the guys making a cross, and the defenders, they all like this.
Yeah, they have
but you don't jump like this. This is not natural position.
No. It's because they call penalties when you
they're taught to do that.
But if you're crossing and I want to jump, my hand is gonna go up with me, so I'm gonna be.
But it's very controversial, which is why they tuck it behind them. Like the coaches tell them to do that.
Okay, but that's not a natural position for you.
No.
If you want to jump and go as high as you can, you don't jump with your hands back.
Right.
But usually that's not how you play.
They call it the momentum. The momentum of jumping is been up with your hands as well.
No, but you guys are talking about two different things. Usually when a player does this, it's when they're 2 feet ahead of each other and they're close to the box. Then they stay like this, so that their hands are not here. It's not that they're jumping. It's that they have their hands over here to stop the ball. Not that they're jumping in the air.
As
like
if he's
this.
defending them.
Because then you look stupid.
Okay,
like a fish jumping out of water.
now if the guy crosses, right? If the guy is making and I want to jump, try to make as high as I can so that the ball doesn't go. You know, I have to lift my hands up.
I've never seen a player jump with his
Marco's
hands behind his back, though.
They usually do that when they're in the box.
Yeah, you guys know
trying to defend them with their feet, not in terms of jumping.
I understand, but it's not a natural position.
Yeah.
I mean, if I want to turn, I cannot turn like. Let's say the guy now
makes. As long as you don't turn like this.
Let's say now the guy makes a fake and it goes the other way, and I'm like this.
Yeah, you locked up, man.
I don't have I don't have the balance to do that, but they do it because they're afraid that if if you're like this and the guy is 2 feet.
That I agree with.
Okay, so if you're 2 feet away now, let's say now you're 2 feet away and I'm like this, and the ball hits my head, that's a penalty. To me, if you're so close, 2 feet away, that should not be a penalty because there was no intention at all to
I get what you're saying.
There are a lot of controversy with the handball. That should be clarified and should be more objective than
Mike,
subjective.
get some questions real quick. Get them ready, and we'll just talk about our boy Ventura. Antonio's pointing it out.
Oh my God, Ventura! That's right.
This guy's still -1.
Because he's a leader.
He lost all the games.
He's a leader, of course. He's gonna lead. He's gonna lead Chievo Verona down at below 0. So
he is below 0.
They're gonna skip Serie B. Go to Serie C with -1.
Maybe from -1 they're gonna go to -25 or whatever. You know.
It made no sense. Same thing with Genoa. When Genoa sacked Ballardini, who was doing good, they put Juric in. I mean, some of these decisions that the presidents make, they make absolutely no sense.
Well, some
in
of it goes
reality.
outside of soccer. That's why.
That's
So like
Yeah, you
Preziosi
don't
is
know.
another hothead that he
Yeah.
makes decisions whenever he
How many
wants.
times? I think it's like 4 or 5 times
Yeah.
that he's called Juric. He said, "No, yeah, I call you." These coaches should say, "You know what? I'm not coming
They're
back."
still under contract.
Nah, they
So
still want money,
if they're
bro.
getting money.
But they get money
They're
even if
getting
they sit
paid
on
for
their
it. I know,
couch.
Exactly.
You wanna
So
do your
if
job.
they're
They're
sacked,
contracts, so you-
either way, what questions you got, Mike?
Okay, so we got a quick one of how do you guys feel of CR7 celebrating against former club and Pogba celebrating against former club?
Pogba didn't celebrate.
Yes, he
Put
did.
his hands up. He
No.
didn't score number 1, and he didn't celebrate.
He was celebrating for the winning goal.
No, he didn't.
No,
Yes,
Pogba
he did.
did not score.
He
It was
didn't
an own
score.
goal.
Why did he celebrate?
It
He
was
didn't
own
score.
goal
Hit on
between
what people are saying.
Bonucci and
Oh, boy.
Alexandro.
Yeah, he didn't score.
No, I didn't
Okay, so
score.
I guess we're going with the CR7 one then.
Yes.
Nah, I don't- we talked about this.
CR7 is going to show his bicep and all
I'm
this
surprised he
stuff.
did that,
Antonio,
to
I
be
want to see you
honest.
do that in
Good
the
for
in the-
whoever is celebrating. Okay? Anybody
Mike, next
celebrates.
question.
Good.
Next question. I
Okay.
want to
For
see you
you.
do that CR7 celebration.
I'm going to
next
do
week.
it. I'll do
Like
it.
this.
Oh, yeah. I'm telling you. I hope Cutrone. I'm going to do the Cutrone celebration.
I like how he pissed off the Barcelona fans when he was doing the video. He goes to one of the guys. He goes, "What do you think about Suarez playing better when Messi's on the bench?" And the guy was like, and then the other guy's like, no, it's not true. It's not true.
Hey, but wait, I asked them a question. He said, how do you guys like CR7 playing in Juventus? They said, who's
You didn't
CR7?
record this one?
No. I don't know
I
if
don't
I
think you recorded
No,
that
they
one.
were saying, who's CR7? We don't know who's this guy here. In other words, they totally dismiss the fact that this guy is no longer playing on La Liga. In other words, they don't give a damn, so they will with him or without him.
Jeez.
Mike, what are the questions?
We got another one. We're talking about Roma now. They're talking about how they're complete opposites in Serie A and Champions League, and what's causing this, and who's to blame. We talked about. There was actually an interview I want to talk about with Dzeko. He said, "I think I'm scoring more in Champions League. Like he has a pretty horrible record in Serie A for scoring, but for Champions League he's doing very good." He was saying in Serie A they're much more defensive, but in Champions League there's so much more room to move around and it's easier to score there. So that was one big hint. But do you guys
What
have
was the
anything
question?
who's to blame for why they're playing bad in Serie A and why is it so opposite and what's going on? I think it's similar to what Dzeko said, to be honest. I feel like it's much harder to score in Serie A, but you know
There's
they
a mentality
haven't found
shift. Listen, when you know you're playing in the Champions League, it's
It can't just be that, though.
No, but it's the same thing with Juventus 1-1 against Genoa. I mean,
Dude,
you could go
Roma
back
are
and
in
forth.
8th place right now.
Sometimes the hardest games to play against, like same thing with Roma.
I get what you're saying.
I mean,
yeah.
they lost to who was it, Bologna or something, and they were able to beat Lazio, which is supposed to be a harder game on paper,
Right.
just like the Champions League games. But what you don't lack in those matches is concentration. And
yes.
like you say, sometimes that concentration can be the difference between tying or losing to Bologna and beating Lazio, or Dzeko scoring in Champions League, whatever it is.
You don't think there's more
Or
to
give
it?
3 points to Spalletti at the last 15 seconds.
I don't
It was
think
lack
so.
of concentration. Donnarumma admitted it because I saw an
got
interview.
6 points the past 2 games.
What do you mean 6 points? I mean,
Genoa and then versus the
well, but at least not because of a lack of concentration
no, but from another team.
No, I don't think they lacked concentration. And the fact that we have a talented player, Romagnoli has been shown for twice in a row to have the talent to put the game away in the last few seconds. So hey, it's nothing to take away from them. On the Inter case, it was Donnarumma's mistake for mistiming the ball coming out, and it was the 3 defenders that they got caught off guard. And the one slips intentionally in front of Icardi, the other one was taking a suntan, and the other one was thinking about going to dinner already ahead of the game. So
I think,
before the game
listen,
was,
also, Roma's done well against CSK Moscow and Victoria Plzen. Okay, they're not the greatest of teams. Yes, it's Champions League, but
They're
they're
pretty
able to score a
convincing
lot
wins,
of goals.
though.
Yeah, the convincing wins for sure. But at the level of what Roma plays compared to the other 2 teams, there's a difference, number one. Because they lost 3-0 to Real Madrid, and Real Madrid, at the start of the season was not doing so good. Also, they're only 5 points away from a Champions League position. So the season is long, even though they haven't had the greatest of seasons, very up and down. I mean, nothing is lost yet. They still have a lot of work to do. They got a lot of new guys. So I think, De Francesco has certain pressure, yes, because it's Roma. They're trying to revamp a lot of stuff. But I think they'll be okay in the long run. Will they get the fourth spot? I don't think so. But they should be there.
Listen, I want to give a shout out to the Barcelona fan that I met. Seriously, that I met at the bar. That I met at the bar over there the other day, yesterday. So what happened is not only the young guys. You see ladies like a 50s and 60s glued to the TV. I mean, these people, they live for that team. They just stop everything. I said to the guys, don't you guys work? No.
He goes, no.
Well, you were there too.
Yeah. Well, I quit my. I lied to some of my clients. I said, listen.
What if they watch
it now? Watch a podcast.
Let them watch it. So anyway, listen. On the other hand, I saw another big group of Inter fans with the same passion again. On the opposite side of the bar, making a lot of noise and going bananas as soon as Icardi
Who had
scored.
more people? Who had more fans?
Oh, well, a lot of Barcelona.
Yeah.
Barcelona, actually, they took over the establishment by just...
Establishment.
Yeah, they placed the banners all over the places, flags.
You gotta replace those with
You should have took them down. I would have took them down for Inter flags.
I want some Cassano stickers.
Hey, I got news for you about the Cassano. They all
Go
love
around New
Cassano.
York.
They do not all love
I asked them, I said,
You
listen.
paid them to say
No,
that.
wait no more. I paid them. I said, listen, I said to all of them, I asked them, I said, who's better, Cassano or CR7? Or, Cristiano Ronaldo, CR7. And everybody was chanting Cassano by far.
Yeah, okay.
I don't. Wait. But what you don't see is to the side before the video starts. You go say something nice about Cassano. We all saw that
I
part.
didn't have the back there, but I love Cassano. Give me a break.
That was funny though. That was funny.
Let me throw one more question in there.
Yeah.
Some about Napoli, actually. They're talking about from last season and this season in terms of Champions League. They're talking about how if the difference was Sarri not trying in the Champions League or just Ancelotti being a different caliber of coach between the
Both.
2 seasons.
Both.
Yeah, I would say a hybrid of both. What do you guys think?
I mean, of course, Napoli last year, their plans were to win the Scudetto.
Yeah.
They were
All
this
legs in
close.
one basket, right?
So they knew already. Sarri doesn't change his formation, doesn't change his players. He's not going to be able to do Champions League and Serie A. And I think no one says from the get-go, we're going to try to get out of the Champions League. But if it happened, it wasn't the biggest of deals, and it proved it.
Yeah.
Then right after they went to Europa League, they dropped out of that also. So there might have been something under the works.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I think Napoli now doesn't have the same pressure at Napoli last year. Like I said, I think the fact that Inter from the summer, even though now they're starting to show, the first half of the season they didn't really show. The first 3 or 4 games, they didn't look like they were going to be the anti-Juve. But now that there's an extra team, Napoli doesn't feel the responsibility that they have to win the Scudetto. They're going to go for it, I think, with Ancelotti. But it's more open. They're going to play whatever they can.
I don't think it has to do with responsibility. It has to do with, with charisma over there. Ancelotti is not one of the guys that is going to settle for a 3rd or 4th place. Ancelotti is going to go all the way to try to win everything. So, and the fact that he's got Inter helping them.
Is he going to win anything?
I got news for you. We discounted.
You already said that Inter's going to win the triplete, but also that Juventus is going to win the Champions League.
Question. Let me give
give
me the chance to answer. Sorry, I got news for you. I said when you play in a Champions League game, you discounted the fact that in a two game situation, even the best team can lose against the second best or the 3rd or 4th or 5th best team. So you have the lever on the field. You make a mistake or a lack of concentration, the way we were saying, we were speaking before. Your game is over. I don't care how many millions you spend. Or how many
PSG,
or how many Messi,
PSG has been a perfect example. What about PSG when they lost that huge lead? The Champions League, the comeback, wasn't it? The comeback from Barcelona, PSG, where
going over there and scoring 4 goals or 5 goals.
For a club that spends that much money, you would never expect that you can possibly. I don't care if you're Barcelona, I don't care if you're Real Madrid, if you're anybody, to be able to lose such a large league. Yeah. And I think PSG have been the prime example of what you just said. Yeah. Spending money doesn't necessarily mean
success.
Buying trophies.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. No. That's the way. That's what I like.
Maybe in the French league.
Money doesn't mean.
Yeah, exactly.
You cannot really buy
usually
trophies.
Who has the most money is going to be on the top. So it's not 100% true.
Yeah.
The only thing is, but in Champions League, there's a lot of good teams with a lot of money going around. So even if you have 100 million more,
Yeah.
you're not going to make that much of a difference.
Like you said, it's not the French league. Like in the French league, you could spend so
Wow,
much money and you're gonna win.
That sounds a little mean.
But
now that
It's
you
just
said
the
it.
fact of
But
it's just
listen,
the truth
it
right
happens
now.
to everyone. Barcelona last year with Roma.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a question for
Juventus
Gaetano.
almost
I have a
done it.
question
Last
for
goal,
Gaetano.
I'm
Mike,
still
before you
dreaming
ask the
about
last
it.
question, I have a question for him, for
No,
Gaetano.
no, with the question,
Gaetano, with
no.
all of this controversy that we've been having, and maybe for you too, Peter, with all of the controversy
about
that
me?
we've been having here, and now because those are the experts,
Oh.
with all of the questions that we're having and controversy with the VAR in the Champions League, do you think that next year the VAR is going
Mike,
to be
you and I
implemented
can't
on the
answer.
Champions League and on
Yes.
the UEFA League?
Yes.
Yeah.
Repeat.
Is VAR going to be included in
With
Champions
all
League?
of those miscalled
Okay.
or controversy
Yeah.
that we've been having on the Champions League about VAR, about yes it is penalty, now it isn't, or it's a corner kick, it's an offside, and it's this and that. Do you think that for the next year, the Champions League is going to implement the VAR, yes or not?
Yes.
I think yes, only because they were supposed to get it this year in the
I
later
have
stages.
news for you. I don't think they're going to do it.
You don't think they're
I
going to
don't
do
think
it?
they're going to do it.
I like
You
how
know
here's
why?
everyone's opinion
You
on
know
this.
why?
I got news.
You know
for
why? I'll tell you the reasons why.
Tell me why.
Because there's too much money involved,
Oh,
and they
boy.
always want the top 3 or 4
Oh,
teams.
boy.
I don't know about
They
that.
always wanted the top
I knew
3
we
or
were
4
getting to
teams,
this point.
regardless of whether they
Boys.
deserve it, yes or not,
All right,
to be
do
there,
you-
right there.
Do you want Marco's opinion on
Yes,
this?
go ahead.
He said it is right. No,
Go ahead.
Listen, I'll say what Peter and I were talking about. I said that I think that UEFA's excuse was very poor. They said that it's not proven, that VAR is not proven. But to me, the World Cup is number one. The World Cup sits on top of every competition, every league, anything you want to say, World Cup. If VAR can be used in the World Cup, then you can't say that our competition is, we don't use this. And to me also, if one league uses VAR, then there needs to be some kind of rule. If FIFA says, oh, we're approving VAR, we're going to use VAR in our system, UEFA has to have it. And same thing with Italy, with England, they should all be having to use VAR because there's too many decisions that go one way and another. And we're already in this football where you talked about this 3 years ago, people were against VAR. Now, I can't even imagine watching without VAR. It's the way that
That's
things
true.
go. People
Yeah.
will complain
It's gonna happen eventually.
until it happens, you accept it, and then you realize that you can't live without it. And I think that's the way that VAR
I
is.
think VAR is great, but it just has to be perfected, and it has to be a lot quicker. I think the World Cup proved that it can work perfectly. The only thing is each soccer federation cannot implement it the same way that the World Cup did because
Why?
of money. But
What do you
UEFA,
mean?
in the sense that in World Cup,
There's a lot of
there
officials.
was
doing
5
that,
referees
yeah.
that were in the
Oh,
VAR.
okay.
But the top 5
section,
leagues, they
and
should
they
be
were-
able to do that.
Come
The
on.
top 5 leagues at least, no?
For every game,
Yeah.
it might be a lot.
Peter,
It
those
might
are in
be
a
a lot.
room. Those are in a room. They're not working. They're not running. Those
You have to
people
pay them. Yeah, but you have to pay
What
them.
you think you pay? What you
They're
gonna
getting
give to
paid.
them?
What do you think? You're not going to pay them?
Yeah,
Give them a little espresso or something.
Yeah, a cup of coffee.
They're a referee. If they're a referee, he's gonna get paid
Yeah.
for how much he's supposed to get
Marco,
paid.
imagine Tomas
So
from Napoli.
that's
doing
that's
VAR.
the difference. But I think UEFA is the last one to complain that they
Yeah,
don't have money.
come on.
So
Yeah.
I just hope that the World Cup, I think it went smoothly. The VAR was
Yeah, pretty much flawless.
within 30 seconds. You got an
I'm
answer.
sure there
and you
was
had a yes or
something,
no,
but I
and
don't
there was
remember.
No problem.
Wasn't which call this weekend? Was it Benatia that took 2 minutes?
Benatia.
Benatia, the Benatia one took 2 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
pretty
it
good.
was,
Yeah.
it was, it
Two
was. It
two
took
and a
a
half
while.
minutes,
Right.
Yeah.
which is ridiculous. I mean,
It should be
whatever.
called. Go check.
Yeah.
Have
Boom,
the
boom,
perfect
boom.
view already.
Yeah.
Why does he have to go through 6 different
Yeah,
things?
I know,
Yeah.
it's
You know,
pretty bad.
obviously, you want to see every side because at the end he's making the decision.
Mhm.
But give him the perfect view. This is what it is.
Save the time,
that
have it
run
ready.
through,
Yeah.
and then if he wants to see an additional thing, then you
Have-
give
yeah.
him.
Sometimes we lack some common sense. I think in football, sometimes
It's not as easy as we think, though.
The simple
but
things
still.
are often become the most complicated. But anyway, let's get some reminders. Reminder: there's new shirts on the website right now,
That's right.
back in stock on every single color.
And we still got
what
our
are you gonna
hats.
say?
I was about you took it from me.
I stole your
That
thunder.
was
I have a
my
question
line.
for you.
That was, go ahead, Pete. Go ahead.
Ibrahimovic to Milan. What do you
Oh.
think?
that's a hot
way,
rumor.
No way. We don't need
way.
him. No, we
Why
don't
would
need
you
him.
need
No.
him?
We don't need him.
Well,
We don't
Higuain just got
need him.
injured.
If somebody of that caliber that cannot score in Galaxy, you think he's going to
He
come
did
in?
score.
He score. What is it? What did he score? 3 or 4 goals? Give me a break.
Oh, he scored a
The
lot.
guy usually scored with the back
That
of his
guy,
heel.
it's a bad karma. It's a bad
Karma, he
karma.
won last time you won.
Listen to me. Listen to me. You do not want to abandon a team for money and then you want to
No,
come
no.
back into the same
He
team.
said he did everything to
Listen,
Just
well,
stay
just
at
listen.
Milan.
He
I don't want it.
Marco,
Gattuso
say
doesn't
it.
want it. Nobody wants it.
Antonio, for a second,
I need
wait.
him a minute.
Wait.
give him a minute.
Wait.
Give him a minute.
Grab my jersey for
He's
me.
done.
That jersey that I just made for me. Listen, guys. Listen. Talking about merchandising, a lot of people are asking me, Antonio, where can we buy the jersey and all the stuff? Listen.
The shirt?
The shirt. Listen, this stuff here is flying off the shelf. We have this. We have the hats. We have so much stuff. So listen, this stuff is flying off the shelf. So we saw hundreds and hundreds of the shirts the last few days. So
There's not too many, but
just place your order because we hired 2-3 people to just be over here on the print shop.
you're supposed to be one of them.
Oh no, I can't do that.
He's taking this break on this podcast.
tall
Can I explain the Zlatan thing?
All right, go ahead.
Okay, Zlatan released a new autobiography. There was a few leaks that came through, and one of them was about his moment between PSG and Milan. And he says that, and we'll get everybody's opinion on this. Sorry, we gotta extend this a little bit. So Zlatan, and I don't have the quotes exactly right in front of me, but he says something along the lines of when they told me that PSG wanted me, I told Mino, do not answer the phone to PSG because I don't want to leave Milan. He said. He said, Mino calls me. He goes, Milan is selling you. And he goes, okay, give them an offer that they'll refuse. He said, I asked them for a crazy number for an amount. He goes, and I even went to my wife and I told my wife, no matter what, I will never accept PSG. He goes, then Mino called me saying, it's done. Pack your bags. He goes, and I'm a man of my word, so I had to go. Which, there's a few contradictions. I know Michael had a different sense to it, but
There's a few different things.
I don't buy it. But anyway, listen. Let me just to finish the stuff here. You start in trouble. I'm gonna put you out. Listen, I'm gonna put you out of your misery. Right now. Listen. The goal.
Way Cardi then.
The goal. Wait. Listen to me. Many of the goals that Ibrahimovic scored when he was on AC Milan were just Cassano put it on his
come
foot.
on.
And I said, hey, just push it off.
This is like
off
a
the
broken
line.
record.
And then Ibrahimovic did this. Bang. That's it. Nothing. He didn't have to work for a lot of his goals. Cassano just put the ball right.
listen,
in front of his
Romagnoli
feet.
has scored both of your game winners. I don't think you should be complaining about another world-class striker coming into your club to play. But anyway, guys, in the comment section below, let us know if you want Zlatan. Rate the
And
podcast.
Antonio, how many stars?
5 stars.
Wow.
He's going to go into a rant. I was just going to try to...
5 stars. It's the least
Oh,
that you
boy.
can do. No. And we are proud to say that we're not only getting it the most from most of you guys 5 stars. Our rating is better than the ESPN. It's better than Fox. It's better than Goal TV. It's better than just about anybody. And thank you for all your support. Again, this is not for us. We are one family, and we're here to support you. And we wanted to just hear from you because this is the world platform of soccer. Thank you, everybody.
That's it.
We're good?
Yeah, we're good to go.
Hey, listen, you called everybody family. They're going to be messaging you for some money if you're family.
We'll put his address in the link below.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Rate the podcast if you enjoyed. As always, talk to you soon. Ciao.
Ciao.